Good afternoon, everybody. Never seen so many people galvanised by one voice then. Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's lovely seeing everybody here today. And a very warm welcome to those of you watching us at home online. Thank you. I believe Sue Osborne is being our online host today to welcome people into the room and just to be there to say hi. So thank you very much, Sue. Our medium today is a very well known and very well respected and much loved local medium, Phyillis Rumney.
Like that. Welcome in.
You need to come out like that.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
So, up, down. So, without further ado, I would invite Phyillis to deliver the opening blessing. Thank you so much, Phyillis.
It's lovely to see so many people here this afternoon. And we're gathered here in God's sanctuary. This is a place of beautiful peace. It's under a canopy of the universal love. So let us give us thanks for our being here. And let us join together in love. So may I ask you to join me in prayer. O Heavenly Father, as we have gathered in your presence in love and harmony, with our wonderful guides and our helpers who are always with us as we walk our individual paths, we would like to send our thoughts out to those who are less fortunate than ourselves during this time of isolation. A special thought goes out to those in residential and nursing homes who have had no or very little family contact. For the sick and the homeless, may they be forever in your care. We send our energies to all the carers and the doctors and nurses, and yet to all those who give their time for others. May the windows of love between the two worlds stay open as we join together this afternoon to give upliftment to all. And may this service be given in truth with all of their love and laughter. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Phyillis. That was beautiful. And now, if you care to, please join with me in saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thine will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And leave us not when in temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. Thank you. And now, Phyillis, we look forward to hearing your readings for today and your address.
Yes, I got readings
We
today.
have two. How
Not
wonderful.
just one, readings. Awkward, aren't I?
No,
But
wonderful.
it's lovely to be here. It's from two books. One from Osho, who is a former professor of philosophy and a very great mystic. Number two is going to be from Chicken Soup from the Soul. I can't tell you the author because it's unknown, but they go together beautifully. So please bear with me as I find my place. I lost it this morning when I was looking for it. From Osho. Man can live in two ways. Either he becomes a stagnant pool of energy, or he can become a dynamic flow, a river of energy. The stagnant pool never knows anything beyond itself, because it never moves beyond its boundaries. The stagnant pool of energy becomes the ego. The river-like flow helps you always to go beyond yourself. It's a constant flow. It is movement towards the oceanic, towards the infinite, towards the unbounded. Life should be like a river, always moving and never clinging, always ready to go into the unknown, always ready to risk the familiar for the unfamiliar. The right way to live is to live dangerously, always exploring and always reaching out for the stars. Then life becomes naturally meditative, because each moment brings so much surprise, and each moment is so new. You cannot think of anything. You have to encounter it. The repetitive person can think about his life and can plan his life because he's so predictable. Everybody knows what he's going to do tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. But the meditative person is unpredictable, not only to others but to himself also. He does not know what is going to happen in the next moment. Hence, there is no question of planning. He lives life an open life. He welcomes every moment, fresh, young, and with that welcoming heart, one becomes aware, slowly, slowly, of something that has been called God, truth, nirvana, enlightenment. Different names, but all for the same thing. I think that is lovely. How many of us, though, always like to plan and be where we are at all times? Now this, as I say, is followed by chicken soup. And it's on the same vein of what I've been talking about, but a different concept at all, and we see it differently. It said, life is like riding a bicycle. You don't fall off unless you stop pedaling. That makes you think. At first I saw God as an observer, like my judge keeping track of things I did wrong. This way God would know whether I merited heaven or hell when I died. He was always out there, sort of like the president. I recognised his picture when I saw it, but I didn't really know him at all. But later on, when I recognised my higher power better, it seemed as though life was rather like a bike ride on a tandem bike, and I noticed God was in the back and he was helping me to pedal. I don't know when it was, when he suggested we change places. But life has not been the same since. Life with my higher power, that is making life much more exciting. When I had control, I knew the way. It was rather boring but predictable. It was always the shortest distance between points. But when he took the lead, he knew delightful shortcuts, up mountains, through rocky places, and at breakneck speed. It was all I could do was to hang on, even though it looked like madness. He kept saying, pedal, pedal. I worried and became anxious, asking, where are you taking me? He just laughed and didn't answer, and I found myself starting to trust. I soon forgot my boring life and entered into the adventure. And when I'd say, I'm scared, he would lean back and he just tapped my hand. He took me to people with gifts that I needed. Gifts of healing, of acceptance, and of joy. They gave me their gifts to take on my journey, our journey, that is, God's and mine. And then we were off again. He said, give the gifts away. They're extra baggage, too much weight. So I did, to the people we met. And I found that in giving, I received, and still our burden was light. I did not trust him at first, in control of my life. I thought he would wreck it, but he knew bike's secrets, knew how to make it bend to sharp corners, jump to clear places filled with rocks, fly to shorten scary passages. And I'm learning to shut up and pedal in the strangest places. And I'm beginning to enjoy the view and the cool breeze on my face with my delightful, constant companion, my higher power. And when I'm sure I can't go on anymore, he just smiles and he says, pedal. I think it's lovely, but you can see how the two marry up so very much. And as soon as I read Osho, I knew that I had to read Mother by Bike Ride as well. I haven't read it for years, but it's always something that is stuck in my mind. I must have a drink. Excuse me. One stops and thinks when I read wheat books, what's the meaning of it? Why have I got it? Why have I picked up two utterly different people? Osho was a mystic, actually he was a great mystic in India for many years, and he really does. He has his own places of worship. Used to be able to go on his workshops out in India, absolutely wonderful. But I really, to get this book, I had to go online because you can't buy it in a shop, and they're quite expensive because they're rare, even online. So I am very lucky. I've had it for about 20 odd years, so it's been with me and it has been a constant companion because there's odd bits that I read and I can take on board, and I think I could do an address nearly every day on what happens that day, but it makes me stop and think. Also, I don't read it every day. Sometimes it's in my bookcase for a month on end, but that is life, isn't it? Chicken Soup, this one, we bought I think we bought the first one in America, and this was first published in 1995, I believe, the second book. But as you could see, it's well read, well different pieces in it. It's really beautiful pieces in it, but you have to take it in the right context. Sometimes it's very Americanized, and which I'm not that way inclined, but you've got to make the most of everything. Someone wrote it, someone's experienced it, and this is really what I feel. Osho was well educated to become a professor in philosophy, and to be a mystic, a great mystic as well, so he was a well-educated person. I always feel this book is taken through life's education, or what we learn upon our way. Let's face it, we do need to learn things each day upon our way, and to be able to read other people's experiences, I think is absolutely fantastic. It makes mine look mediocre in a way. Both are very, very spiritual in their own context as you read them. All their values are to enlighten us, to make us learn. Actually, they make you pedal a bit harder because you want to improve yourself and learn a little bit more, whether you read from them or not. It really is seeking enlightenment. And the more you go into it, the more time you would like to meditate, to be on yourself. Because we are always out there searching, going back through history and readings of a long time ago. And yet if we sit quietly, I think we would learn more by going into ourselves, because we experience things in ourselves. It's not always out there. The history is there, but we want to go forward. So we need to go into ourselves to try and improve ourselves, to go forward and to learn so much about ourselves. as I said, Osho had many followers, and he had his own foundations in the 1930s. And I was trying to think, when I was reading this, about going back to Beatlemania time, when the Beatles went out to India for their transcendental meditations.
Oh, very much.
Yes. Very, very much. So it's not something that we're just talking about now. Even people of years gone have gone out to these mystics to be able to pick up their knowledge and to go forward. I would have loved to have gone to something like that, but I'm all hooked. I think I've passed that now, as we always do as we get to a certain age. I love learning. I love understanding people. And this is mostly what I feel about my chicken book. I could go round, I could read little bits all afternoon, and I'm certain you would all love them. But let's go into ourselves at this moment and pray for what we do. Do we understand the spirit that is with us at all times? Whatever you say or whatever you do, the spirit is there, that you are guided. I was telling Lawrence earlier on, this wasn't the reading I started out for, although weeks ago when I knew I was going to do the service, I thought Osho and chicken soup. But then I've got into my head, no, just Osho, and I really studied it. And you know, I've been reading it all week, and there's words in it I couldn't understand, and I've been trying to pronounce them all week. Then yesterday afternoon, Spirit said, wrong one. And that is how I came to read these books. It's listening to Spirit. How often do we put Spirit on the side and don't listen to him? I know many things in my lifetime that have gone wrong. And it's because I didn't listen to Spirit. Spirit had told me one thing, but my brain's gone first, and I've gone what I felt was best. It usually goes wrong. Life is like that. You have to listen to this Spirit within to go forward. And the more you are into the spiritual way, you learn to go with the Spirit and go with your moods. How have you all been in lockdown? Have you all been sat at home, worrying, isolated, nervous, done anything exciting, done something different? A couple there, done something yet, done something yet. I did too. I put myself on an art course. Never done it in my life before. But yes, and it's really made a difference. I've got my shed at the bottom of the garden I call the shack. And I hide myself out there. But it is something that you need to do for yourselves. And I don't know whether you're starting again next week on your art course.
No? I'm an artist anyway, so...
I'll have to come to you for help then. That's good to help. You see, there's some reason you all could come here. It's just to help on the way. Each time I'm learning, I'm on the bottom paddle, but I see something and someone recognises that. I thought, hey, yes, it's very good. But that is life as we go along. We've got to think about our meditation and what we're seeking during that meditation. And what are you looking for? I had different people are seeking. And a dear friend the other day was saying she's looking for auras, and the aura that surrounds us all. Not everyone can see them. I can't. I see the energy around them, but I haven't been gifted with the colour. That doesn't matter. Other people can, but I can still sense the colours in different ways. But if you stop and think that we've all got this wonderful aura around us, why don't we let other people in and make friends that have been only acquaintances? Why can't we broaden our outlook of spiritualism, not going away demanding, but just making them a friend of them and letting them see how we are, how we go about it, how we love other people. Understanding other people is so good. It makes you feel good inside as you go along each day. Taking someone on board that needs help is fantastic. Next door to us is an invalid. He's paralysed from the waist down, and his wife died only a year ago, so he's been very, very lonely. So he's in my bubble. So I go in every day and to make sure he's all right. I don't do his shopping, I don't do his cleaning, so I sit down and I talk with him. I take the dog in, that little thing over there. And he goes,
Not the one in the blue jumper.
no. I take little Toby in and he's in the wheelchair, and Toby sits on his wheelchair and he takes him round the house or takes him round the garden on a chair. But it makes his day, and this is what life is all about. You've got to give something, it's got to give something back to what's been given to you. I love my home, and he loved to lose his wife, and he said it shouldn't have happened to him because his wife was his carer. And he knew it's a degenerative disease, that he was going to get worse, and all of a sudden he's left on his own. But my goodness, now people move forward, there's a reason for it. His wife did everything for him. She was really an excellent wife. But since she's died, he makes his own breakfast, he washes up, he gets himself out of bed. You've got to remember he's paralysed, he can't stand at all. He has to have something to lift him off the bed. He's got a catheter in, and he has to go to the bathroom, empty it all, he has to shower himself, he has to dress him. It takes him 2 hours in the morning, but he does it himself with no help. I tell him he's too mean to get help in, but he does take it as it comes. But that is life. But honestly, he goes out, used to be forced shut down, he'd go to the chemist on his own, he'd go to the library in his wheelchair. He got himself a wheelchair that goes on the bus, an electric, and he's fabulous going round, and I take my hat on him. Sad thing is, we found him on the floor on Thursday, so at the moment he's in hospital. But lucky enough, we lived next door, and we dealt with it. And that is what life is about, is helping somebody else. Someone else to come into your bubble, to help people along the way. And I feel this is what we get on in life. We understand that God is with us, that universal power. This is how I always feel of our God, is that power. And we can all link in. Whether you're good or bad, you can link in to this beautiful power. And it's up to you what you take from it, what you want to receive, or where you want to go forward. So whatever age, however you feel about life, you've got to remember God is with us, and they're walking with us, and it's taking us upon our pathway. So I want to say to you all, let's get on our bikes. Let's try and move forward. Let's see who we can help, who we can get to understand. Life for many of us, this is the first service I've done since March, I think. Yeah, it is. I think I was
Scary, isn't it?
Yeah, I was here in March, and it was very scary. But God doesn't leave you. He's always there. Even if he put a paintbrush in my hand, which I didn't have before. It's made something and making me do something. Went out of my comfort zone and did something different. That's the only thing I could do, because we were an age we had to stay at home, isolation, and that's life. So always think of something around the door. Stop and think of who needs your help, who needs your guidance, who needs to be talked to, just someone to talk to. And it's fabulous. I've met different friends. Although I was stuck in, I still walk the dog every day. And he gave me my exercise, so we've kept fit and we've kept healthy. So get on your bike and see where next port of call is going to be. Thank you all for listening.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Phyllis.
You're welcome.
And indeed, picking up on the vein of Phyllis's philosophy and address there about reaching out and helping people, we now come to that part of the service for healing. Obviously, at this time, we're unable to offer the hands-on healing, but we are all healers ourselves. We all can link into that divine power to receive healing for ourselves and to send it out also. Never doubt yourself. Never think, I can't do that. We can do so much because we are spirit, because we have got that glimpse of the divine within each and every one of us. So if you'd like to make yourselves just comfy for this short time, feet on the floor, just clear your mind, all the little niggles, all the little worries, they'll all be there later on. This is your time. I'd just like you to imagine, please, that you're there on a glorious beach. Beautiful soft sands, stretching for miles. No other people about, just you, the surf and the sand. Beautiful blue sky, sun high above, not burning hot, but warm enough. And you decide to take a short break, a swim. And as you make your way into the blue sea and the waves around you, you dive under. And as you do, just enjoy and relish that weightlessness that swimming brings with it. And just enjoy that time, being weightless, sunlight filtering down through the blue waters around you, the warmth of the sea caressing you, and just being in that moment, in that time. And once you are there, I'd like you to first ask for healing for yourselves. It's not a selfish act. It's for you. If you are healed and well, you can help and assist all those around you. And once you've received that healing balm, then send out your thoughts. Just project mental images of people that you know who at this time will need that healing energy around them. These can be friends and family, loved ones, even foes. It matters not. That healing energy will reach out and empowering you as it channels through you. God bless you all. as you bring yourself back, spare a thought to send out that love and that connection with Lauren and her mum, who unfortunately couldn't stay for the whole service. Help them both in their own special needs, with friendship, with healing, with companionship, with acceptance, tolerance, and with love and understanding. Amen. And now, young lady.
Well, if I haven't done it for 6 months, we're all going to see if it works. Give life, spirit loves laughter. But while I was sat here, I had a lady who passed to the spirit world. I think I'm over here. I've got mum. I really feel I'm in my late 50s or 60 when I pass the spirit. From what I feel, she's a lady who had so much energy. She was full of life. I want to say she was quite a pickle, you know, in her life. She was one that was always on her bike. I want to experimenting different things because she was laughing back here, and I was being warned that I had to talk to you. Oh, all right, but this was your mum. She was ready to pass. She wants you to know that she was ready to pass, but she didn't want to leave you because it left you with a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. This is how she has put it. But she said how she is so proud of how you have coped over the past few years. Oh dear. She said after she passed, you had many troubles and traumas. She wants you to know your father's with her, but she is the one that is making it foremost to come forward this afternoon. She said she was waiting for her husband to join her. But this was an extra trauma, she's saying, it was put upon you. But she hopes from the spirit world that she had given you enough strength to cope. And all of a sudden she's bursting out laughing now and said, but the family didn't help much, did they? And she's laughing about it, you know? So she said she had to do, but in a way she was having a little laugh to herself. Big strides have had to be taken from you. And there's still another pathway that you will be taking. This is how your mother's putting it. But will you take your mum's love, the way that she has come through? I've got this woman down here, full of energy. She's by your side. She wants to come and sit next to you, so if you feel a presence next to you, you know she'll be there. She walks with you nearly every day. You are aware of her. And you talk to her incessantly. And she said she listens, just to let you know that she misses you too. But she is there, and she said, I can do more help from this side than I could if I was here on earth. So take your love and just know. And I've got to tell you to stand up tall and be heard. Someone's keeping you down in some way. You've got to speak your mind to go forward. Take your mum. She'll be there. Remember, she'll stand tall with you. Oh, she's a lovely lady. Beautiful eyes. Beautiful hair. But oh, she's got the terrible laugh. Real, laugh so much. But that was her life. She made the best of it. It wasn't always rosy for her. She said, but we're coming on leaps and bounds. And I'll say, God bless you.
Thank you.
She wouldn't let me get up off there unless I spoke to you. I will say I do many years ago, I did know this young lady. I don't like going to people I know, but she wouldn't let me get off the step. Stay. Now come to the lady in the back, please. Yes, I think you're the back row.
Yeah.
Mother's in spirit, please.
Yes.
A busy, busy mother.
Yeah.
I want to be on the go.
Yeah.
My hands are on the go. Whether I knitted or sewed or something, my hands are always on the go. You understand?
Yes, I do.
Please, as I'm feeling it, because I just feel I'm going clickety-click, you know, with my hands up there. She was a lady of the old school.
Yes.
I really feel with her, she was a mum and a housewife.
Yeah.
Although she worked,
Yeah.
because I really feel she had to bring the pennies in, she had old-fashioned values.
Oh, yes.
This is how I'm interpreting her. It's not that black is black or white is white, but she would take and she would listen
Yeah.
to what was being said at all times. And why is she telling me all of a sudden you've got to listen?
Don't know.
Something going on around, but you are taking on board someone else's problems.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
All right, you can understand. As long as you understand, that's all
Yes.
that matters to me. I don't know how she is putting it, but I know there's somebody else that you're helping to sort things out.
Yes.
You are listening. She said she's not like me. I was always sorting people's problems out. But that was your mum's attitude, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know your mum's got a person who would like to cuddle? You know, she's a huggy type of lady.
Oh, yes.
So all of a sudden I've got my arms here and I want to give you a big hug from her. But I've got this wonderful smile with her, as you can. She was poorly before she went over to the spirit world
Yes.
for a little while.
Yes.
Because she's telling me things were going down and she was getting so fed up of being ill.
Yeah.
I really feel that she was losing temper with herself, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could really feel that she was getting crotchety. She didn't like going down. Old age was awful for her. This is how she felt. But she's at peace in the spirit world.
Yeah.
Just coming through to say that she loved you. But you know she did.
Yeah.
Because she told you.
Yeah.
She wasn't one of these that held back. She loved it. She liked baking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But all of a sudden I want to get an apple pie or something
Yeah. Yeah.
in front of me. Reminds me of one I got in the freezer that I daren't touch. So I'm not that good. But this is what I've got, is this apple pie, the pie, the baking. This is my hands more than the cooking that she enjoyed doing. She was a very good cook, wasn't she?
Yes, it was.
But I don't know why she's giving you the pie. All right? For memories.
Yeah.
It's a memory time.
Yeah.
Because in your mind you've been going backwards in thinking
Yeah.
of the past.
Yes, definitely.
And she said she could have given you a fruit cake. It would have been all of a sudden I've got this fruit cake in front of me. So I could have given her a fruit cake as well.
Yeah.
Different time, pudding and celebration.
Yeah.
And this is how she's put it, celebration. So whether there's a fruit cake for a celebration that's coming up, but you've got a fruit cake as well.
Okay.
Your dad's in the spirit world as well.
Yeah.
But he went his own way. How can I put it? Your mum and your dad were two different entities. They loved each other,
Yeah.
very much,
Yeah.
but they were each their own person.
Yeah.
Because I feel your dad stands up for himself. Or it's the other way round.
Other way round.
The other way round. I think he should have stuck up for himself. He should have stuck up for himself. I felt I had the sticking up for myself a bit. He was a bit more laid back than your mum,
Yeah.
and I've really been laid back, you know. But he'd do anything for a piece of quiet.
Yeah.
But he's got quite a twinkle in his eyes as he's coming through. And I feel he was a loving father
He was.
in his own way. But he would do anything for peace and quiet. I think this is how I've got him. I don't know whether I want to be in a shed at the bottom of the garden in a way.
Could be, yeah.
I feel this is what I've been given, is this shed at the bottom of the garden, and it's reminding me of my shack.
Yeah.
But somewhere to escape to, he was, but he used to potter in the garden quite well. Sends his love. He said, I know you've had your cakes, but you don't want the carrots as well. So whether he did vegetables, grew vegetables, all of a sudden I got a bunch of carrots
Okay.
from your dad.
Right.
Take his love.
Okay.
Know that he is walking with you. I asked him why he wanted to be with you. He said, because you are very careful on your diet, on what you eat.
I don't know about that, but okay.
He says you're very careful.
Okay.
He doesn't look at the jam, the cake and the jam tart. He feels that's irrelevant. The carrots are more important.
Oh, right.
Can you? That is really what I said. Why have I got carrots? They're more important. The vegetables are more important than the cakes. And this is how he's putting it. And I say, God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm not used to being this side. Hello, my love. Can I come to you, please?
Thank you, Phyillis.
A sister in the spirit world. Has anybody here got a sister in the spirit world? I've got someone's sister. I feel on this side. Sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law, possibly.
Thank you. I really, this is what she's coming through. So it's a sister-in-law. It's still a sister, isn't it?
It is.
But not biological, but it's still a sister
Yes.
in the spirit world. And she went fairly quickly to the spirit world.
Right.
All right.
No, but
You
possibly.
don't, oh, sorry.
That's all right.
You were never close.
No.
It's all of a sudden, we were never close.
No.
But she said, I never get a chance to see anyone who I knew on the earth plane
Yes.
to get through.
I understand. Yes. Yes.
Her life wasn't, you knew about that she didn't have an easy life.
Yes.
Because I really feel a hard life with her.
Yes. Understand.
It's almost like she was always crying out for love and understanding.
Yes.
You know, I've just got this inside, although she's in the spirit world and she can be there, this hurt that she's got inside
Understand.
is still there.
Yes.
And I want to give her a bit of peace. And I think coming to you and being able to talk to you is sort of making her ease that you've accepted her. You can understand the hard time she had. She was treated very badly
Yes.
with that. And well, you wouldn't know her passing, so I'm putting that to one side. But she said, life has not always been easy for you either. This is her, she's more or less tried to back you up. You know, give you that enthusiasm for life that you have been missing of late. But it's been missing because of lockdown, where you haven't been able to meet so many people
True.
and you've not been able to go out so much. She was a very attractive girl
Yes.
in her own way, and she had dark hair.
Yes.
Not hard. I've got dark hair with her, and quite long
Yes.
with that, and she had dark brown eyes as well.
Yes.
with her, because this is how I feel that she is coming through. The opposite to you, actually, to your being, because she was well-built girl as well. Her family didn't treat her well. But there again, all through her life, she said, I must have done something wrong. Whatever I did seemed to be wrong. And I put people's backs up. She put people's backs up, really, that put a barrier between her and everybody else. In the end, she had to move on. All of a sudden, I packed my bags and I go. You understand? All of a sudden, she went to try and start a new life elsewhere. But she said it was short but sweet. But she wants to say to you, think inside of the good things that you have in your life. You know, I know, she said she knows that you think positive, more of a negative way.
Yes.
But at the moment you feel that you're tied down, that you can't get on to do what you really are looking forward to doing.
That's true.
Your spiritual aspect is working much better. Through meditation, you have gone into yourself, and the awareness of everything around you all of a sudden is beginning to get larger. I feel that awareness around you, which is absolutely fabulous. I'm going to say God bless you. Just looked at this beautiful girl on the other side who had such a rotten time, really. But she said, now I'm beginning to feel better because I'm helping someone. Because you were never nasty to her, she said.
No.
She said you always listened to her. And that's just because of the problems within families, things didn't work out right. But now she's talked to you, she feels that she can move on a little bit more because you understood her more than anybody else. And I think that's a lovely reason to come through. It is a beautiful reason to come through. She's saying thank you to you for listening, for her around. And will you please be aware, her energy is so strong. I am freezing.
I'm hot. I've got the opposite.
Yeah, you're hot with her. My legs, I've got goose pimples. That her energy of thanks that's coming through. It's the love because someone has listened to her. And I feel she's been in the spirit world for a little while and she's had no one to listen to, no one to come through. But to say thank you to you for being there and letting her be able to talk. She's going to be with you quite a bit now because she feels she can cling on. But it was a sister-in-law, not a sister. But she's got that love for you as a sister would. Mind you, not all sisters are loving, are they?
Brothers.
I'm talking from experience. No, I mustn't be like that. They've all passed over to the spirit world and it's only me left. May I come to the gentleman, please?
Thank you.
Actually, I want to come to the pair of you because I'm not certain. I feel I'm with a gentleman more because there's a gentleman behind you, sir. And I feel, you know, there's a fatherly link. I want to say fatherly, not father. Can you understand?
Yes.
I don't like keep saying understanding. It's because everyone's got masks on, you know. I can't read expressions. It was almost like he was around all the time. He wasn't actually a father, but he was a fatherly figure that was around you while you were growing up. Like a stepfather. Yes?
Yeah.
God, thank you. Straight-laced gentleman.
Yes.
Very upright. You know, I'm sat there, you're relaxed, but I can't see any resemblance. That's why I said it had to be a stepfather, because there was no resemblance to him and to you, as I see him. He was a bit strict. A bit strict. I'm being very good, aren't I? I'm saying things quite nicely. He was a bit strict in your upbringing. I don't feel any love. He did his duty. Can I put it that way? I just feel he was there. You had a roof over your head, and you had food in your stomach. But that's where it ended. But I was trying to get him, why has he come through if he felt that way? He's telling me that he missed out on many things in your life because he wouldn't give of himself. He's the one that missed out as well as you. The support you needed, I want to say, as you were growing up, older, you could have done with more support. But you had to do it alone. Your upbringing. He's not a man of many words. He's not a man of many words. You know, as I'm here, I was saying, well, come on, I can see you, I can feel you, I can feel you around me. But he's just not really coming out because he feels he failed in many ways. But he said he did care. He's not saying love, but he did care. But you were your mother's son. All right, this is how he's put it. You were your mother's son, not his. And the importance was having his own. You can understand where he's coming from. It's almost you were like an interference. The utmost, but he wanted his life, but he loved your mum. I will say that. Although I think there was almost a parting in the end with him and your mum. Because all of a sudden, he loved your mum, but all of a sudden I went, ping! You know, my hands just came apart. So there had to be a parting. She wasn't happy. Your mum, I've got you now, but your stepdad, as he came through, but your mum wants to stick up for herself, which she had to do during that marriage. But once that happened, your mum was a different person. She was more free, she could be herself. She's telling me she could never be herself within that marriage. It's almost like she'd been kept down. But your mum had a lovely heart. I really feel I've got a feeling from this lady in here for you. And all she can say is, I did my very best. And you know that, don't you? She did her very best. But she wants to give you love. She wants to send that love to you. She's so happy with you at the present time. Are you related?
Husband and wife.
Hmm?
Husband and wife.
Husband and wife, yeah. Well, actually I wanted this lady, I wondered whether you were almost his sister because you are so close in your marriage. You know?
Yeah.
Your marriage is so close. The way the Spirit was giving to me, I felt like it was, you've been together for many years, I know. And she's so proud of you both, to what you've both accomplished, because it hasn't been easy. All right, I'm looking at the clock.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to close down. But there is so much energy here, and there's so much love for you all. Thank you all for listening. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Phyllis.
You're welcome.
To answer your question posed at the beginning of your demonstration, yes, it is still working. You said your mediumship. I don't know if it's going to work. Surprise! It is.
It is. Well, you don't know when you start up. I knew I had this lady, that young lady's mother there, and she was telling me off. I thought, oh dear.
A quick couple of notices. Our online events for the coming week. Monday night, 7 p.m, we have a meditation. Friday night at 7:30, we have one of our joint ventures with the Spiritist Friends. And the topic of the talk is about guardian angels. Saturday morning, I beg your pardon, at 9 a.m, we have another meditation. And then Saturday evening at 7 o'clock, we welcome David Pye, who will be giving the talk on reincarnation. That's always going to be a topic, isn't it? Should last for an hour. It may go into Sunday, but never mind. David's very well read, very nice chap. So that's all the online events. Live here within the church, this coming Wednesday, 3 o'clock, we welcome Jean Tanner back. You know, we've got so many mediums doing their first services after so long, you know, and bless them, they're slowly coming back, which is wonderful.
Jean's lovely.
Yeah.
She's a lovely lady.
Yeah. She was like, I'm not sure, I'm not quite sure yet, but yeah, and she is now, and that's great. Sunday, 3 o'clock, we have Rosemary Spencer with us, and that concludes the notices. Phyllis, my dear, if you would care to deliver the closing blessing, please. Thank you.
I want to ask you all to join with me. That we all stop for a moment. We all came into this sanctuary and we came in contact with each other. Maybe distances, but we all have. But let us share these precious moments. Remember, if we share with caring and light-heartedness, we will create joy for one another. And if this can be done this afternoon, this service will have been completed. So prayer, our closing prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, as we come close to close our service, we give our thanks to those in the spirit world who have communicated with us today, bringing love and understanding. May we take the love of today and share it with all who we come in contact with. Thank you all for giving this sanctuary your support. With God's love, we continue this day. Go your way in peace. Never forget that the angels are around you. Rest your hearts in love and adoration of God's blessings, with a warm heart and love for mankind. Amen.
Amen. Dennis, on behalf of everybody here and at home online, thank you so much for your service today. Absolutely lovely.
You are welcome.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you all, everybody, for coming today and supporting the church. I know I say this all the time, but it's just so lovely to see people back in the church. It's a very long 3 months of me and the cat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's absolutely wonderful to see you all. I would ask, as you leave, if you could leave from the back rows first, that way just to avoid a little crush at the door there. Look after yourselves, stay safe, stay sane, stay happy. Look for something happy. When it all comes in, just think, oh, what makes me laugh? I don't know if anybody saw, I posted about baby goats online. Have a look at that, because you just melt. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Fantastic.
one thing.